Hello everyone and welcome, it's Leonie. So, if you're new here, this is my monthly review and goals. So this is a review of July and goals for August. I will start with the review. July has been a pretty stressful month. There's been a lot of stuff happening, serious stuff happening within the family, and yeah, it's been very hard. My brother went into hospital, he came out. My mum went into hospital and then she came out. And then we're trying to get some more support for my mum because her care needs are now a lot higher than they used to be, and obviously I feel awful guilt because I can't help it all, and I know there's nothing I can do about it, but it still doesn't stop you making you feel guilty. Like, it really doesn't. Because I want to be able to help and I can't. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on things. I've done loads of phoning around. I've got loads more to phone around tomorrow, which is Monday the 3rd. It's the 2nd of August today. And yeah, just to try and get things in place, but nothing is easy, and especially not with the current situation, COVID and everything. So yeah, things are pretty stressful at the moment. However, they have calmed a little in the sense that no one is currently in hospital, and what I'll find right at this minute, and that's the main thing, isn't it? So yeah, what else has been happening? I got my laptop back. As you may be able to tell, this is why I'm actually doing, I was going to say a sit down video, but all my videos are sit down. You know what I mean. But yeah, I got my laptop back, so that's good. And I've had it since, what day are we on? I've had it since Friday. It's Sunday, and I've had no issue yet. Fingers crossed and touch wood and this wood and any other, all of it, that hopefully that's the way it stays. I put some notes down here because my brain's just like, you know, all over the place. What else has happened? Oh, I went to the beach on my own, which I hadn't done, so that's like the furthest away. It's about 40-45 minutes away to go to the furthest point that I did, which is the furthest I've gone on my own. The furthest I'd gone on my own up until then had been 25 minutes away. It's kind of scary because, well, you know, it's that sort of thing that for some reason, you know, when your brain just puts in random things in your head, and you, like, I'd be going along and all of a sudden my brain will just go, it's like, it's which Bitchy Brenda, you know, or whatever she's called, like, you know, the negative voice that we all have. It'll be like something like, oh my god, what if it breaks down at the top of this hill, or what if you break down right here and then you can't get back? And obviously it's kind of like a bit scary having that. I mean, obviously it's not a constant thing, it's just that now and again thought. Or, you know, if I go down, like if the curb drops a little bit too high and I have to go off it, I always worry that I'm going to break it and then I'll not be able to get back home and stuff like that. It's I know it's all just normal and natural worries to have, but it's just that it's that thing, and that obviously going further away from home makes that scarier, because you're thinking, oh my god, like if I was round the doors, it's like flat enough for us to be pulled backwards, I suppose, because it can take the airlocks off and then you could pull it backwards. But to be honest, it's a nightmare. I remember my daughter trying to move it without me in it, so I just can't envision anyone being able to do it. But I'm not going to let it stop us. The likelihood of it happening is very, very slim, and obviously things like that would have stopped me before, but not now. Not now. And I know it's easy saying that because I know how hard it is to sort of get past that for a lot of people, but yeah, them fears. So yeah, I went 3 times in the end. Once to the furthest point, and the other 2 not quite as far, but like still on my own. And then I also went into town and into the park, over the, like just over into town, and went to the park there. Now I did debate about not going, because I was kind of nervous of crossing the bridge, because as I've spoke before, I've got terrible fear of heights and or whatever it is, but it does make us feel sick and dizzy. And obviously if I'm having to control a wheelchair, I was worried just crossing the bridge, but I try and focus. And although I felt, as before the lockdown happened, I was starting to get used to going across it, that I could kind of cross it without trying to think about it too much, so I didn't get too anxious or anything. And I did notice that it, like the increase had come back, so I did feel sick again and all of that sort of thing. But again, it's just a case of getting used to it. It's so noisy, and obviously it's very busy, and obviously then on top of that with the height, and obviously I don't look down the sides because I can't but you know what I mean. And so yeah, so I got there, and I was really pleased that I did, because I got the chance to see a bird of prey, Harris hawk, which I took photos of and is in one of the talkie vlogs I've done about Mowbray Park, if anyone wants to watch it, because honest to God, it's so beautiful, and I got some really good pictures, and I was really pleased. So definitely worth it. What else? Let's have a see, because I can't remember. So I've said that, I mentioned that, I've mentioned that. Yeah, life at the moment, you know, COVID's still happening, and obviously the weather's very up and down in the UK as usual, so either rain and thunderstorms, or bright sunshine and 25 degrees or more. Now that you have to wear masks in the shop, I've been in the shop twice since that has came in a thing, and I don't like it, but I'm doing it. Obviously I do feel a bit claustrophobic-y, I suppose, but you know, for the time that you're there, I'll cope, you know what I mean. Needs must and stuff. So the only other thing I wanted to talk about was my diet, which is also part of my goals. It was part of my goals, which I failed completely. But my diet, being honest, right, so it's like being honest, for probably the past 18 months I have gone up and down. Well, initially I went up and down, so I gained a stone, don't know if you remember. I lost most of that, then I went ages without being weighed, and I'd gained 17 pounds, I think it was. And then since then, I may have initially started off well, but probably since I injured my leg back in March. Is it March? No, since I was poorly. So since I was poorly, not sure if I had COVID, but I think I did. Since I was poorly, my eating has been shocking. Like, I mean, worse than it's ever been. And I just can't seem to get a grip. I get a grip for a couple of days here, and then I have a day off again for some reason, and then I'm back on it a couple of days, and it's just not working. And I don't know what the answer is, and I don't feel like I'm eating out of stress and comfort. But then I suppose you could think, oh well, I've got reason to, there's a lot going on, and like, not that there's ever reason to, but do you know what I mean? Like, I'm struggling to know how to fix it. For like, this is the one thing that I don't know. I know the answer is, and the thing is, it's like it's not even like I really enjoy it, to be honest. I kind of feel like it's a bit of boredom. I don't feel comforted by it. It doesn't help silence anything. Like, yeah. So I'm really at a loss. as to why I can't get rid of it, and I don't know if it's just because of everything that's going on, I don't know, but I need to kick up the arse. I need to do something, because I reckon I must have put 2 stone on. So that's on top of the 17 pound that I'd already gained, which, whatever that is in stones, I can't think. Was it 3.5? Just under, maybe. So that means that I'm probably at a total loss of 15 stone rather than 17. I was at 18.5, and I don't want to go any further back. I need to stop it. I need to cut it out, and probably because I've had I haven't sort of set meals. I haven't like planned, or is that saying, isn't it? Plan, if you don't plan, you plan to fail or something. I don't know, can't think of it, but someone will know if you know what I mean. Write it in the chat. Prepare to, what is it? Plan to, oh man, I'm not going to get it on that. But yeah, I mean, I've put here, so my goals last month were watch 3 films, which I did. I'll explain in a minute. Stay within my calories and reduce calories slowly. Right, so didn't reduce calories slowly, didn't stay within my calories. I reckon, I've wrote down approximately 14 days that I did. I think it's probably approximately 10 that I did last month. So I really don't know what to do in terms of fixing it. Now, I think I've said, what, 4 or 5 times now in these, maybe, no, 3 maybe. The last 3 of these I've had ideas about goals and sorting out my calories, and that I have just not fixed it. And in fact, it's getting progressively worse. It was really bad, then I tried to sort of fix it a bit. That helped a little bit, but it's got progressively worse again. So I really need to do something. Answers on a postcard, maybe. Right, moving on. I might as well. Goals. So the other goal was, I've explained the 2 that I failed already, and the last one was to watch 3 films. Okay, so I did that. So I watched Coach Carter, which is one I've seen before. I started with that. I thought, start with something easy, something you've seen before. Haven't seen it for years, but actually really liked it. And it's basically Samuel L. Jackson, can't even speak. Samuel L. Jackson, and he is basically a coach, and he is a coach for a basketball team of sort of an underprivileged school that don't really have much hope for their kids, that kind of thing. And so he goes in there to help and blah blah, obviously, you know, that kind of feel good thing, but with lots of like lots of life lessons in it. Is that the way of putting it? But it's a good film. So if you haven't seen it, I would probably give it a 7.5, maybe even an 8 out of 10. So yeah, give it a watch. The other thing I watched, another one I watched, which was on Coach Carter, was on Netflix. Don't know if that will help anyone. The other thing I watched was Marvelous. So this was on BBC iPlayer. I seen someone talking about it on Facebook, so I thought, oh, I'll give that a go. And it's basically the story of a man who is disabled, and in the 80s he'll have been probably in his 20s, maybe late 20s or something. Anyway, and it shows his struggle to get through life a bit, but also doing things his way, and how he doesn't take no for an answer, and sort of, you know, gets on with life. And it's what I would call, it's based on a true story basically, and it's what I would call it's a nice film. It's like a feel-good film. It's a nice film. I'd probably give it about 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, probably. It's definitely an easy watch, I would say, if that's the right way of putting it across. It's a nice, it's easy to watch, and it's nice to see someone fighting for things, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'll let you watch it if you want to, and then you'll know anyway. Sorry about that. Me phone rang and it's now dark. I forgot where I was at. I think I was telling you about the films that I'd watched. Anyway, I also watched Hamilton, which is a musical. It's like a really cool musical about it's like got rap and jazz in it. It's just really good, really good. It's on for, I think it's just over 3 hours, so you need to like prepare. But it's the story of the American founder and father, Alexander Hamilton. There's also stuff about Thomas Jefferson and King George III and so on and so on. But yeah, it's really good. It's got a funny element, but it also tells the story about what happened in history in just an amazing way. So I would definitely recommend that. That was on Disney Plus, not sure if I said that. And I also watched a series, which I binge watched a series called The Secrets She Keeps. It was on BBC iPlayer. It's a 6-part story, and it is basically, it's about a family of 2 children, and one's pregnant, and then another girl who's also pregnant, and the story unfolds really from that. Sun's just come out. So yeah, it is a thriller. It's very good. The first episode's a bit slow, but obviously you've got to get to know people and who they are and why and what, you know what I mean, all of that sort of thing. But it's definitely worth sticking with. And like I said, after the first episode, like from the second episode on, I was like, I gotta watch the next one, gotta watch the next one, and I binge watched the whole thing in one go. So definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it. The other thing I did, weirdly, which I haven't done in a while, is I read a whole book. Yay! This is Mike Gale, The Man I Think I Know. It's a story of 2 men, and how do I explain this? So basically it's a story of 2 men that get together, and not together as in a relationship, in a different way. One of them's been injured, and the other one has mental health issues related to his past, and they sort of come together, and then it's sort of that story of how they help each other, I guess. It was brilliant. I could not put this down, and that's the first time I've not put a book down in so long. Like, I really, you know, when you just want to know what's going to happen, or you want to know what's happening next, so you've got to start the next chapter, and you've got to keep reading, and I felt like that. And yeah, I bought this out of the pound shop. It was £1. It was brand new. It's not a recover. I've never come across Mike Gale before, and I've tried to read. This is the first full book I've read in 3 years. The last full book I read was, I'm sure, Peter Kay's autobiography, and I read that when I was in hospital, so I'm sure it's 3 years ago. I've started loads, but I've just not had the interest. And I read this in 4 days as well, so that just goes to show how interested I was in it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that if anyone has a pound shop and they still have these. It's worth reading. But yeah, it was lovely. Right, so that's everything I've done, everything I've watched, everything, everywhere I've been, the whole of everything. God, this is going to be a long video, isn't it? So now moving on to the coming month, or this month because it's already in it. Goals wise, I'm going to read another book. I've decided I've already picked one out, so yeah, I'm going to read another book. So I've got this one ready, so that's goal 1. I haven't started it yet, but yeah, that's goal 1. I want to have another book read in the month, which, you know, one a month for me is a big deal at the minute. I'm going to look into my food intake and maybe look more into the planning of it. I'm not setting myself any goals with weight loss at the moment, but I'm going to look into reasons. I'm going to try and sort of maybe start planning things again and see if that can help, because obviously, as I've said, I'm struggling at the moment. And the third thing is I want to write something, because I haven't really written anything. I mean, specifically I want to write a song, and I kind of hummed a bit of a tune with some words the other day and recorded it. It's pants, but still. And I'm not necessarily going to write a song, but I'm going to just say that I want to have something written. Like, I want to have wrote something, like poetry wise at least. So that's my 3 goals. Yeah, anyway, thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope everyone is good, and you can put down in the comments what goals you have for the month and let me know how you're getting on, and I will catch you all later. Bye bye. Bye bye.